single men of Reddit, why aren't you dating anyone right now? My father as an example has worked hard his whole life and after 2 divorces barely has any money left. His last wife embezzled money from their shared accounts, got pregnant after forgetting to take her contraceptive, took both cars and half of his inheritance. What little money he had remaining he spent on a lawyer trying to keep as much of the inheritance as possible and continues to help raising his new daughter, my half-sister. His daughter is just now turning 15 and he is 67. He said if he could do it all again he would have stayed single his whole life. I stuck with her through her lowest times, spoiled her almost every day, and gave her as much love as I could. One day, I let her know that I was unfortunately with something that she was doing. My thoughts get disregarded, and a week later, she breaks up with me. I did my best to support her, but as soon as I needed her to support me, she wrapped things up and just left. Since then I've just been focusing on myself because I've realized my worth and value. It's tough, but we just need to do our best to keep going. The right person hasn't come along yet. I'm not antisocial, but my friend groups are pretty closed, they're all early 30s, married, having kids and aren't really interested in finding new friends. X200B. I have my own hobbies and activities, mountain biking being paramount right now, and while there are women in that space, they all seem taken or very uninterested in more than a riding buddy. X200B. I've tried dating apps, and so far the people I've met seen on them very much aren't my type. Have you seen the dating scene? There is a lack of good women. Most are still traumatized from their ex or just having sex with many people. Not to mention they also need to go out partying every weekend. It's honestly very hard to find a wife material if they even exist anymore, and I simply don't have the energy to get into a relation with a girl that has the characteristics I mentioned above, nor am I attracted to those type of girls, so I'd rather stay single in peace. I've only recently actually felt ready to step back into the dating world, got on Tinder, got ghosted by about every single match, some unmatched, for which I thank you, and deleted the app. Now I'm just hoping to find someone for when I find someone. Also, I'm under 6 foot. Not athletic looking, and yeah. Also, I spent quite some time in the hospital. As a patient, that lowers my chances. I am an introvert too, so I don't go out as much as I should because it has been too long since the last time I actually took some time for myself. Having a GF is cool and all, but I want to concentrate on myself for a while now and having fun without the thought that every day I need to be 100 for someone. When I'll be tired of this lifestyle, I'll know that I'll be ready again. On the other hand, it's just cruel to reject someone because I'm not ready, and I hope no one got hurt by this decision of mine. I'm not as good looking, rich or charismatic as I could be, and I have no soul, which means I'm pathologically driven to be the best me I can now, or else I get old and die like this, a sad parody of the insecure mindfuckable beggar boy I was as a child. So in the interim, no point in subjecting a grown woman to my lack of resources, lack of a calling in life, emotional unavailability, insecurity, and baggage which I'm still debagging. I'm a single dad, my wife passed away a few years ago, I'm not ready to date yet, and I have very little time. I feel like I'd be a bad partner when I'm not working, the majority of my time energy belongs to my daughter. Not only that, I remain very close with my deceased wife's family. Not sure how many women would want to have Sunday dinner with their partner's deceased wife's family every day. I'll probably find out. Trying to focus on improving myself and my career first, which is what your early 20s is for. For the next year, I'm pretty much studying for my remaining CPA exams and working full-time. I see people around my age dating and getting married, and I can't relate. I don't have the mental bandwidth to maintain a healthy relationship with my current workload. It would be unfair to the other person when I'm not able to fully engage. A combination of past relationships and deaths of people close to me and trauma and anxiety from a career in the military and emergency medicine has caused me to become an emotionally unavailable person that subconsciously sabotages close relationships as soon as they start to get serious, because I think deep down I'm probably terrified of losing someone close to me and being vulnerable. Plus, I'm just really busy. After a few relationships, I'm not seeing the benefits anymore. Sure, sex is great, but the freedom to do whatever I want every day far outweighs the need for me, especially since I can casually have it anyway if I want. It's possible I haven't met the right one or whatever, but I don't really care so much about that anymore or let it run my life like I used to. It's weird how much happier that mindset shift has made me. Kinda still getting over an ex even though it's been 2 damn years. I'm not where I want to be in life career-wise, money's tight right now and I have a short temper and some insecurities. I'm young, yeah, but having a good income and being at peace with myself is big right now. I wouldn't mind getting close to a girl, but I don't want to hurt her. You know, it's not what I was raised like. I'm scared of hurting another person. Even if I get the time, I likely won't be able to commit. X200B. My life is a mess. I am slowly going utterly insane each day. I'm burned out while in college, and I cannot take care of myself so much so that I have to push myself to my limit to do even the simplest tasks. I might seem like a cool and funny guy, but my past haunts me every day. I need to improve myself before even thinking of dating someone. Well, the abuse was pretty traumatizing and all, and I'm healing from that, but I'm definitely ready to get hurt again, lol. So really it just comes down to meeting someone. That's my only big hurdle really. All my hobbies and activities are male dominated and typically pretty isolated, so I don't get the chance to talk to a lot of new people. I'm trying to change that and get out a bit more now though, see some new places. Can't get a job that I like, depressed, living with my mom, psoriasis all over my eyes, can barely afford my dog. Even if I were to get a date with a woman right now, aside from asking her about her life, I have absolutely nothing I want to talk about personally, so the date to her would probably just end up feeling interview. It's best if I just focus on getting my life to some semblance of kinda normal. I tried to do it 3 times in recent 20 years. And every time it resulted in nothing but disappointment and pain. I can't even say that I had girlfriends. More like imagine them. So now I'm afraid to even try and start it all over again, especially with a complete stranger. And I find being alone is a much safer choice because I'm not sure if I'm still able to give something meaningful to another person. Most women my age either want children or have children. Been there, done that. I just want to chill out for the rest of my life in a small apartment with a regular job. Someone suitable to date would have to be okay with myself spending my life playing video games indoors. I've lived enough of life and have been hurt by enough people that I've accepted I'll most likely be alone for the rest of it. I am focused on some things that take up my time. Living in the woods, going to town once a week, and it's not a big town, not everyone's cup of tea, which is fine, not everyone is mine. When I get some things done, I will start traveling, and looking while I travel. But I made it a few decades on this planet before this situation without finding anyone, so I'm realistic about the odds. I'm going through a healing journey to heal my body physically, also going on a healing journey to heal mentally as well. When I am not fully healed myself, why would I want another person to experience broken goods? It takes a lot of energy to be with someone, to show them care, love, and attention. I'm still learning how to love myself. How can I love another when I don't love myself right now? I'm a devout Christian living in the USA. There are very few single Christian women my age in the US. Most are sadly Christian in name only, and the few devout ones like me tend to have a list of dating requirements so long that no one is good enough for them. The few devout ones who do not have a list tend to be pursuing singleness or don't want kids' marriage. As a result, I stopped trying to date. I just hope one day, hope it's sooner than later, that special girl who's worthy of everything good in this world will bump into me and I can finally be happier than ever and will make my life beautiful. If that doesn't happen, it means it was all BS or she died before we could meet. I was told that what is mine is put aside for me, and no matter how the world spins it will always come back to me. The only women I've found desirable were already taken. I'm sure if I spend enough time looking, I could find someone, but standing out on dating sites is like a full-time job these days and it's exhausting. I rather spend my time being productive than on dates that go nowhere. Just feels like a total waste of time. I think the rise of dating apps has been bad for both women and men. I can't live up to the standards of a woman I'd want. Also, the stress of keeping a relationship just seems like too much work. And finally, there's something to be said about absolute freedom from anyone. Despite being lonely AF sometimes. I'm with Bill Maher on this. But then just partying with some woman would only happen if I had money and personality. So here I am. I just don't have the energy for it right now. Bought a project house that's been sucking up all my time and energy. I tried online dating for a month or two, and after a handful of dates where I wasn't feeling it, I decided I don't have the emotional energy to properly get to know someone new. I'll probably make a proper effort in the new year when things have settled down. More money, more time to do stuff I actually want to do, less problems, stress. Don't get me wrong, relationships do have their highs, but a lot of it is just work and problems. Women just also benefit from relationships way more. I did 2 years of paying a girl's rent, food for mediocre sex, Random arguments and finding random hair on the bathroom wall. No thanks. I'm getting older and I have a couple FWBs I spend time with occasionally. I'm no Casanova, we just are getting older and no one really seems to have time to go down the full dating path. I mean, yes, new people are exciting and getting dressed up and doing the whole dinner movie thing is exciting sometimes I suppose, but there is a comfortability that happens also. I'd call out if women are just kinda rude, entitled, narcissistic, lack self-reflection, expect the world, etc. There's a reason men are kinda over relationships. We don't get much out of finding a girl who's not seeing like 310 dudes is rare AF I've found. Every date I've been on they let slip it's like the third date that week. Like fuck that shit, eh? Well, I had a LDR up until Thanksgiving where she decided to ghost me and never speak to me again apparently, and in all honesty, I do not actually know why, and that hasn't made trying to move on any easier, but I guess I am single. I was never technically broken up with, but I think it's a safe bet since I haven't heard from her in like, almost 2 weeks now. No real experience and no clue where to start. Though up until recently I wanted to properly settle first before I started with any adventure. By now I have settled with a good job, and it's not like I'm against it, so basically no other excuses. I'm planning to take a pretty large organized youth 20s holiday though, so until then I'm fine with it. I got engaged to my GF of 3 years, but then she broke up with me after I told her I was going back to school and getting out of the military. She just wanted my benefits. Since then, a combination of distrust of people, lack of funds, and introvert behavior has grown. Trying the dating apps, but it seems like you're invisible without paying for it.